Here we are, rocking and rolling into the final segment of the show, Your Real Estate Today. I'm Paul Jamison, your host. If you're thinking about buying real estate to move into as your primary home, we'd love to help you with Jamison Realty. If you're interested in creating quiet money, we hope it to be quiet. You're interested in investment property, we'd love to talk to you. Jamison Realty also, or Jamison Property Investments and Jamison Property Management, 704-846-3663. You know, Preston, if people are interested in having their home pre-inspected and having it taken a look at to make sure that their home is in tip-top shape, or they're thinking about selling, how do they get to you?
Just check out our website, homeinspectioncarolina.com. And, from there, our phone numbers, email, whichever way you prefer. But homeinspectioncarolina.com is the best way to get in touch with us.
Homeinspectioncarolina.com. And Preston has been around and a dear friend working with me for a long time. So excited to continue that relationship. The code, Preston, builder's code. You know, the one thing I keep hearing over and over again is that it changes pretty much daily. They add something, fix something, tweak something, that is a new code as a result of multiple issues that may appear. And so they make those changes. So in an inspection, there's always that, well, the house was built in 1990 and it was fine in 1990, the code, but now this is 2023. Well, it's not the same.
Right.
Doesn't make it bad. It's just different.
Right. Well, I have a couple of things to say about that.
Do it. Say it.
All right. I always use the example of a 57 Thunderbird, right? I would love to have a 1957 Thunderbird, but by today's standards, a 1957 Thunderbird would be a death trap. It doesn't have anti-lock brakes. It doesn't have an airbag. It doesn't have all these things that cars built today are required to do it. And if you took that 1957 Thunderbird and put all that stuff on it, its value would go down.
Yes, it would.
So there's some things with a house. Now, granted, we want to make a house safe, but some of those houses down in Charleston, they got like that carnival glass, the glass where they, you know what I'm talking about? Like they couldn't make a clear piece of glass, so it kind of looks prismy, not prisony.
Yeah, that's steel glass.
Yeah. That too. But there's certain things. I mean, obviously, code got progressively more over time. Like, there weren't any GFCI requirements prior to 1975. Do the ground fault, that you see in your bathrooms and kitchens. And then 1975, they required it in bathrooms. And then 86, kitchen near a sink. And then 96, it got progressively more. And the way this works, or the way it should work, is say I inspect a house that's built in 1974, right? All right. So, I would put in there, bathroom doesn't have GFCI, however, was not required. During that time, if you wanted to do them, it's a good idea, but they're not required. And a buyer can't make a seller do that, and a home inspector should not write up that they should. Now, should they add on another bathroom, or blow out master bath, new bathroom? That new bathroom is going to have to be by the new code. The only exception to that would probably be like smoke detectors and fire detectors. They need to be. I don't care what your house you got, you need to have those. And those aren't, that's not a major redoing. That's just attaching it up to the ceiling. Everything has to have that. But in general, I'm sort of a hypocrite with this. I mean, codes are a good thing up to a point. I'm thinking we're starting to cross a threshold now with some of this green energy stuff, though. Maybe I'm, throwing it out there, and somebody might call and they're ticked off. But, on all these requirements now for air conditioning and stuff, I feel like we've gone too far. The government starts out doing good stuff and then they cross the threshold. And I don't know, it's making the cost of things go way up. Obviously we don't want a house to burn down. Codes to prevent that are great. But yeah, somewhere where like somebody who's making some of this energy efficient stuff is getting a lot of money and the government's requiring us to use, I better shut up before I get us in trouble.
Well, I do think to your point, Preston, we're going to see more of that forced on us, especially in the code. And there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about it in the newer construction. That's the unfortunate part of that scenario, right? Your point is well taken and accurate. You know, it's who are they protecting? You know, is the
100%.
You know, who are they protecting? But I do see a lot of agents that don't understand when there's a notation in the report, they go, well, hey, it doesn't meet today's code, so you got to fix it. And my answer is, you want today's code, go build a new house. This is not a new house. And we're not expected to rebuild this house to new standards. Now, you know, if something is against code that is not safe, that's what the permitting process is for, right? So you have a whole other issue related to permitting, right?
So, well, you know, I try to explain it. I say, you know, you bought a 57 Thunderbird. and that's nice. You got mature trees. I mean, this neighborhood is a great neighborhood, great schools. You're going to get appreciation a lot quicker than a new home because, you know, they're not building anymore.
Right.
But with that, you know, you've got the code that when this house was built, and you can't make the seller, you know, change to meet today's code, with the exception of maybe smoke detectors and fire detectors. Now, if you do, you know, build an addition or something, that's a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the way you put that. You know, one other thing before we wrap up today, I wanted to talk to you about is every day is precious, right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
You know, and let me ask you something, Preston. Do you believe in magic? Not in a young girl's heart. I'm just asking, do you believe in magic?
I believe in divine intervention, you know, because I've witnessed that.
I have too.
You know, I don't. I mean, sort of. I sort of do. I mean, you know,
okay. So
a
my
magician,
reference,
I know
my
there's
reference
a trick.
is a little less deep than that.
Okay.
So, but I do believe in divine intervention, and I do believe that the Lord is in charge, and He's going to stay in charge, and we just got to deal with it. So,
right. Well, I do believe in magic to the point of like you get a couple of talented people together,
right?
Or in the synergy, magic happens. You know,
I
for
agree.
sure.
But I believe that it is a magical time to be in real estate. And you may think that you can't time the market successfully. But over time, you always win.
Oh, 100%.
Even if you make a horrible buy today. You know, I remember the crash of 2008. Preston and I were talking about the fact I had some real estate down in Florida. I got out of every one very profitably except the last one. The last one, I got my buttocks handed to me on the last one.
I got one. I had one of those.
But today, if I'd have held on, I would have been fine. And it takes time. And if you look at the trends, no matter if you make a bad decision or not in real estate, in every 7 to 10 years, the market rights itself.
Oh,
so
100%.
you could pay a crazy number for a piece of property. And again, frame it in, there are some exceptions of you can go too crazy. But the majority of the time, especially people who are now questioning 2021 prices that they paid for real estate, they're going to be really surprised, because when the market says things feel normal again, they thought prices went crazy in 2021. When the rates get down to the fives, it's going to change, and it's going to change big, and the market is going to be rocking. So just be aware. All right. Preston, one more time, they go to your website at
homeinspectioncarolina.com.
And for me, you folks want to talk real estate, you want to buy a home here, you want to sell a home here, you want to invest in real estate, you need a piece of property managed because you don't want to let go of it and make it into quiet money, Call us at 846-DONE, 846-3663, or on the web at myjamisonhomes.com. God bless. Take care. Thank you, Preston. We'll talk.
All right.
Yeah,
Y'all
we'll
have a
talk
good one.
next week. The show, Your Real Estate Today, here on News Talk 1110 99.3 WBT.